Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to the next episode of the 2018 NBA playoffs preview / simulation for the first round. For this video, we are looking at the 4 versus the 5 seed of the Western Conference matchup, the OKC Thunder and also the Utah Jazz. So when it comes to both of these teams, the Thunder have definitely underperformed this NBA season. I think a lot of us expected them to be, roughly mid-50s for wins on the NBA season. 48-34 still is not that bad of a record, but it's roughly the same record as last NBA season without Paul George and without Melo on that team. Now, the Utah Jazz, on the other hand, they have greatly exceeded expectations. I think a lot of people out there did not even expect this team to make the playoffs at the beginning of the NBA season. All of a sudden, guys, they have the same record as the OKC Thunder, 48-34, as Donovan Mitchell just decided out of nowhere that he wanted to be an NBA superstar. He's like, you know what, man? Screw the rookie year and everything like that. I want to go straight to being an MVP. He's not quite there yet, but I mean, he's definitely going to be in that consideration, I think, in the next few NBA seasons. So we are going to look at the team stats, the player stats. We are going to do a playoff series simulator of these teams, giving you guys my predictions. And as always, I want your predictions in the comment section below. Okay, so team stats for the entire NBA season. See how these guys are doing offensively and defensively. So as far as points per game, so offensively, the OKC Thunder are at 107.9 points per game. That's good for 12th in the NBA. Where the Utah Jazz a few spots down at 104.1 points per game right here. So, Jazz definitely in the lower half when it comes to offense. I think a lot of that comes down to Ricky Rubio can kind of be inconsistent at the point guard position when it comes to scoring. Derek Favors, I never thought was a great fit alongside Rudy Gobert at the 4 spot. I definitely think they want to invest in a stretch for, going into the future NBA off seasons, but we'll see how that all goes. Defensively, both these teams, let's see where they rank at. We got, okay, so number one on this list, guys, the Sun. That means they are the worst team in the NBA. That means they give up the most points per game. So maybe we'll actually do it this way. Okay, so the Jazz are actually tied for first place in points allowed per game, guys, giving up 99.8 points, and that's because Rubio is really good at defending other point guards. He's always been good at stealing the basketball. Joe Ingles is one of the best, if not the best, 3 and D player in the NBA. I mean, this dude has such underrated defense. You look at Rudy Gobert, always in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, so it's no doubt they're one of the better defensive teams in the NBA. They're benching with Jay Crowder, Jonas Jerebko. Just a really good defensive team from top to bottom, where the Thunder are giving up 104.4 points per game. So you're really looking at it from that standpoint. I mean, they score 3 points more than the Jazz, but they give up 3 more points than the Jazz. So these teams are pretty much even, guys, which makes sense why they are the 4th and the 5th seed when it comes to the playoffs right here. Let's go ahead and check out the player stats. So Donovan Mitchell this NBA season, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm really curious how he does in the playoffs, guys, just because, being a rookie out there, it's a whole different ball game, NBA basketball. Just the pace of the game is so much different. We also got to keep in mind fatigue. I mean, this guy played an 82-game season. He's not used to playing more than 30 games going back to the college years and playing in high school. So I'm really curious how this team does, from a fatigue standpoint. Rudy Gobert, he's healthy now, 14 points, 11 rebounds per game, getting the blocks, getting about 1 steal out there. Him against Steven Adams is going to be a really cool matchup, just seeing those guys battle on the boards and just try to lock down the paint and everything like that. Rubio at 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Assists definitely down from recent NBA seasons. I always know he's a better playmaker than that. It's just, when you can give the ball to Donovan Mitchell, I mean, who wouldn't do that, right? And then Derek Favors alongside Rudy Gobert at 12.7 rebounds. Hopefully he has himself a nice series. Although he's probably going to be playing defense on Melo, so we're going to see how his perimeter defense is, because Melo is pretty much a perimeter player now, right? And then Joe Ingles at 12 points, 5 assists per game out there, 4 rebounds, getting over a steal per game. And from a 3-point standpoint, shooting 44% from 3. So yeah, this dude definitely can fill up the basket. You got Jay Crowder off the bench, who was a starter for the Boston Celtics last NBA season. Dante Exum is finally starting to look at, at least a good backup point guard. Alec Burks out there for some scoring. Jonas Jerebko can stretch the floor. And then you also got Royce O'Neal. Looking at the OKC Thunder, their start, Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double, guys, for the 2nd straight NBA season. And this guy is going to be going in full savage mode. He wants to get some W's out there, man. He wants to prove that the regular season is just a regular season. Not to mention, he can focus solely on basketball now. I know he says that he doesn't focus on stats. Come on, man. Everybody focuses on stats. But he already averaged a triple-double, so now it's just like, okay, what can I do to help my team win? 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists is definitely a great start. Paul George at 22 points, 6 rebounds out there, 3 assists. I do expect him to have a really good matchup out there, although He'll probably be playing the shooting guard position, but I still think Joe Ingles will probably D him up on, on defense, just because I think Corey Brewer starts at the small forward position, or vice versa. Melo, you have at 16.6 rebounds. No longer a superstar player, but definitely, man, for a third option on offense, not a bad way to go as long as he can play consistently out there. And, just realize that he is the third option on this team now, shooting 40% this season and 36% from 3. And then Steven Adams getting 14 points, 9 rebounds. This guy does so much for the OKC Thunder. Very underrated player, guys. I don't think he gets enough recognition out there. And like I was saying, him against Rudy Gobert is going to be nice. I think when it comes to the bench unit, I think you definitely got to say that the Jazz have the better end of that stick out there. But, I'm not saying the OKC Thunder bench is absolutely bad. It's just they have some good scores off it. I just think the Jazz bench is probably better out there. So let's get to this playoff series simulator, guys. I will say, OKC Thunder, Utah Jazz. Who do I have winning? I just think when it comes down to, playoff experience, I think there's something to be said about that. I think the OKC Thunder have been playing great basketball. So have the Utah Jazz. I just look at it from a matchup standpoint, and maybe this is the same mistake I had just look at the OKC Thunder all season, because I thought they were going to be a lot better. But I have the OKC Thunder, guys, winning 4-2 against the Utah Jazz. That is my prediction. I think it could potentially go to 7 games. It all depends on how Donovan Mitchell plays in his first round, in his first NBA series as a rookie. But I do have the OKC Thunder, guys, ultimately winning the series. So let's go ahead, guys. Give me your predictions in the comment section below. Let's get going on this playoff series simulator. So simulate with Simcast. Game 1. Let's get it. Simulate game. And I think it's going to be a lot of close games, though. Although this first game is definitely not that, as the OKC Thunder go off and win 130-95 on their home court. Just went absolutely nuts in the first and the third quarter. A 39-point quarter and a 37-point quarter. We got Melo dropping 29 points, 8 rebounds. And I do think he's going to have a lot of fun, guys. I think Melo is going out there. I think we are going to see Hoodie Melo for the most part, just because he's playing on a really good... He's got a lot of stars on his team, man. It's like playoffs is such a different ballgame out there. And Melo, when I guess when I think of him, man, I think of like the Olympic Melo out there, the USA team Melo, all those guys out there, man, like that. Just, he goes out there when the moment's big and he puts up big numbers. We got 27 for Paul George, and we have a double-double for Russell Westbrook, with Corey Brewer dropping 15 points himself. Overall, this team's bench just went absolutely crazy. Steven Adams, 8 points and 8 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell in his first game, 27 points, 5 assists, great number, 7 for 18, not all that great though. Got to the free throw line. Fantastic game for Rubio, although the assist to turnover, not great. 3 to 5 right there. Joe Ingles, 17 points, and 8, 7 to 5 for Rudy Gobert. I'll say Steven Adams definitely had the better matchup right there. All right, here we go. Game 2. Simulate with Simcast. Let's get it, man. Simulate game. Let's see if the OKC Thunder, if they have another big game. It looks like they are. Just offensively, this team is unstoppable, winning 115-96. Their defense has been locking down the Utah Jazz. Also, looks like it might actually be a sweep. Russell Westbrook continuing his triple-double streaks out there, 22, 16, and 12, 18, 11 for Steven Adams, and a 27 superstar performance for Paul George. Melo having one of those, Melo-esque games as he is right now, where he just kind of didn't really do all that much, but that's okay. He took the back seat to Paul George and Russell Westbrook, as he should do sometimes anyway. Donovan Mitchell leading scorer, 20 points, 18 for Jay Crowder, 15 and 13 for Rudy Gobert, and Ricky Rubio just, 9-18 is not bad. The 4 turnovers is horrible, 3 for 16. Just looks like he's having a lot of troubles containing and being contained by Russell Westbrook. We now have game 3. Simulate with Simcast. See if the Utah Jazz on their home court can be a different team out there. Looks like, okay, so this one looks like it was a bit closer. Once again, though, we have the OKC Thunder winning 109-101 after a really good second quarter and fourth quarter out there. Box score 26, 7, and 9 for Russell, 24 points and 7 rebounds in a redeemed game for Carmelo Anthony, 19 for Paul George, and a double-double with 5 assists and 5 steals and a block for Steven Adams. Here is the Utah Jazz stats. Once again, Donovan Mitchell, 26 points. Ricky Rubio just turning over that ball like crazy, man. Like, you look at the 5 assists, you're like, all right, that's decent, but then the turnovers just get you out there. Like, you cannot do that in the playoffs. And Rudy Gobert, 12 rebounds is nice. Joe Ingles has been pretty much a non-factor this series, and Derek Favors, just not a good match for him with Melo. All right, we have game 4. Is it going to be a sweep in OKC? Simulate with Simcast. Here we go. Simulate game, guys. This could be the final game of the series. It looks like that is probably the case. Okay, the Utah Jazz come back and win 90-89 as they keep their dreams alive right here. We have Russell dropping 32 and 12 with 4 assists, and then everybody else just kind of, did their own thing out there. Definitely was not a high-scoring game. Wasn't pretty, but the Utah Jazz got it done in the end. Donovan Mitchell, 37 points, his best performance, played like a superstar out there and kept this team, you know, playing some more out there. All right, we have a 3-1 series. I mean, that probably brings back bad memories for Thunder fans, but it's okay, man. It's okay. I think you're probably going to win this right here. Simulate with Simcast. See how this game 5 goes. Simulate game, we are back on the OKC Thunder's court. And yeah, they are not playing around this time. They go off and win 108-77. They're like, all right, Mitchell, you get your playoff rookie moment, but 108-77 is the final score. 27 for Paul George, double-double for Carmelo, 17, 12, and 8 for Russell Westbrook as the big three really just take over. And defensively, I mean, this team just absolutely shut down the Utah Jazz this series, guys. Anyway, we have the OKC Thunder winning 4 games to 1. I could totally see that happening. I predict 4 games to 2. I think Mitchell is good for, you know, at least 2 games in this series. We'll see how that all goes. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Give me your predictions in the comment section below. And peace out, my friend.